it's not dating in your traditional Western sense where, a boy and a girl just kind of go out and do whatever it is that they want to do. It's more as in, parents meet the other parents. It's very family oriented. Everybody wants to get involved and understand who that person is, what their background is. Are they good for you? Are they not good for you? Will they be able to provide, sustain? So I think a lot of times in the West, we're focused on just now and in the moment. Whereas in the Eastern culture, it's more long term. So anytime you bring somebody home or you introduce somebody to your parents, it's there's a purpose behind it. It's not just for the moment. It's, can this person be your lifelong partner, which ultimately in the Islamic religion is the goal, right? The goal is to find the other half of your deen, and your deen is essentially translated to your faith. So you want to find that other half of your life partner who's going to walk beside you in that faith. So that's what the dating experience for me has sort of been. But I will say, in college, again, I was born and raised here, so I went to college. I met a ton of people. I did date around a little bit in your traditional Western sense. And that's how I met my ex-husband, which worked out great because, our families got along, and now I'm divorced. So obviously, a couple of years later on down the line, things changed. But, at this point, I've grown and learned that family is very, very important. And sometimes your parents see things that you can't always see when you're so intertwined, and almost like that love is blind kind of thing that you have. So it's nice to have a different set of eyes and a different perspective to be able to, talk about some of those more core values as opposed to just somebody that you might be attracted to. And that's what it's been like for me.
No worries. Thank you for sharing it, Aneela.
Yeah.
I like what you said. You said that, from the Muslim perspective, there's an intention when it comes to dating, which is long term,
Yeah.
right? One of the things I see from this kind of, especially when you talk to very cultured and religious families compared to the West, is the intent is to marry somebody. When you date somebody, your intent is to marry that person. You don't just date just to date for the sake of it, like we usually see
Right.
in the West, right? There's no focus or preparation for the future. It's just I like you. We'll see where this goes. Where from a lot of my Muslim friends, the family gets involved. They want to be able to like create the perfect path for you guys to have the best relationships, so that way you guys can have the best marriage, and everything is like planned out. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see that perspective and to hear that directly from you. Yeah, and sometimes I have people like I have friends and they're dating somebody, and I ask, oh, why do you see that person? I don't know, just he's funny. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
it's
I
funny.
think you bring up a good point. What do you see in that person? And sometimes it's just what you see at face value. But when you get others, involved in the process, whether it's family or close friends, relatives, whatever that is, they can see a little bit more than you can because they're not in, that little happy bubble that you have. They're a little bit
Yeah,
outside
yeah,
of that bubble. And sometimes when you're in that happy bubble, you have almost like this in denial. Red flags pop up, but you don't want to see it. And sometimes it's not red flags. Sometimes they're green flags, and you don't realize that they're there, and that person who's standing in front of you might be good for you. But you just like the other person because they look better. A lot of times I feel like on the Western culture, and the Western perspective of dating is heavily focused on attractiveness and looks, and we don't always focus on what are some of those more substantial, deeper things that are actually going to keep you engaged in a long-term relationship or marriage. And that's why, unfortunately, so many times we see, the statistics, Western relationships have such a higher rate of breakups and divorce compared to the East, where a lot of the times it's there are a lot of arranged marriages, and not just arranged in the sense that you don't always get to see your partner. I think that is still common in a lot of parts of the world. But it's become a little bit more traditional, or sorry, not traditional. It's become a little bit more progressive in the sense that it's arranged, but arranged in the sense that there's more involvement with the families. But you do have the option at the end of the day. Islam forbids anybody to be forced into marriage. So in parts of the area in the world where that still happens, that's, it shouldn't happen. Unfortunately, it does. But I mean, arranged in the sense that there are more people involved, and there's an opportunity to present suitors to you, and then you have almost like, a lineup where you can pick from. I hate to say that, but it is what it is, and you can really think about the choice that you're going to make, because at the end of the day, this is your life. You're creating a path for your future, and you don't want to make the wrong decision.